Dr. James Fletcher, former Minister for Sustainable Development and current CARICOM Climate Envoy, presented at the world's first Climate Overshoot Conference held by the International Institute for Applied Systems Analysis on October 1st. At the outset of his speech, Dr. Fletcher, who served as the lead negotiator for the Paris Agreement, boasted St. Lucia's contribution to this landmark international agreement on climate change.
St. Lucia played a very significant role in Paris in the framing of the language in the Paris Agreement on ambition. So speaking about net zero and when we need to peak, but even more importantly, the insertion of 1.5 in the Paris Agreement. St. Lucia played, and it's a role that we really have to be proud of. St. Lucia is forever recorded in history for the role that it played in getting us to 1.5 and something that is so important for small island developing states.
The Paris Agreement's aim to limit global temperatures to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels now gives rise to the concept of climate overshoot.
When we negotiated the Paris Agreement, it was always with the understanding that there may be a possibility that at some point we will go past 1.5 degrees Celsius, but the intention is to ensure that we return to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So even if temporarily we go past 1.5 degrees Celsius, that could not be a permanent solution. That we had to bring the planet back to 1.5 at some point in the near future.
To demonstrate the urgency that is to be taken in preventing climate overshoot, Dr. Fletcher likened global warming to a fever.
When you have a fever, nobody tells you to, just leave it, it'll go away. You don't leave a fever, particularly if it's a high fever. You don't leave a fever and allow it to go away. You do something about that fever. Well, it's the same thing with the planet. The planet is now running a fever, and the longer our planet Earth runs that fever, the greater the likelihood of very serious tipping points being reached. Things like ocean currents changing, sea level rise increasing, corals disappearing. So we have to minimize that period where we are in this 1.5 and above temperature zone. We have to keep it as short as possible.
For the planet, quite like the human body, it is not just every degree that counts, but every fraction of a degree and every moment that high temperatures last, which means the difference between life and death.
When the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change put out the special 1.5 report, I think it was in 2018, I think, 3 years after the Paris Agreement was adopted, that confirmed what we had long suspected, that every 1/10 of a degree, every fraction of a degree up over 1.5, which is again the overshoot, every 1/10 of a degree over 1.5 is dangerous for small island developing states. So it's not like, we can go from 1.5 and the next thing after 1.5 is 2. No, the next thing after 1.5 is 1.6, and that has serious consequences for us.
The rest of Dr. Fletcher's presentation emphasized that the International Court of Justice advisory opinion made the prevention of climate overshoot an aspect of upholding international law and human rights. Additionally, he discouraged the fatalistic and apocalyptic tones taken to climate overshoot, instead promoting an ambition to reduce global temperatures if and when overshoot is reached. Natural means of carbon dioxide removal, loss and damage funding, and climate justice also featured as the concerns that Dr. Fletcher brought to the fore. For Choice News Now, I am Cianna Dalsan.